For years now, PC makers have been working feverishly to get as much PC power as possible into the smallest possible package. Their efforts have resulted in the notebook-size 386 PCs, with the power of the room-size machines of yesterday. Other than the IBM PS2 L40SX, which, let's face it, isn't really a notebook PC at all, the rest offer pretty much the same size and weight, and several give you a choice of either 20 or 25 megahertz processor. There's the Toshiba T2200SX, there's Dell's 320N Plus, and the premium Exec 386 SX25 from AST. So, exactly what is it that makes these, the 25 MHz 386 SL Compaq LTE Lite 25 with a 16 KB cache, and the 20 MHz 386 SL Compaq LTE Lite 20, so different? Spend a day in the real world with us, and we'll show you. The difference starts with the basics, like the keyboard.
Third quarter actuals are in. Stevenson wants them in your presentation.
Oh, great.
And by the way, you're on in 10 minutes.
Thanks for the reminder.
In times like these, a keyboard should never come between you and getting your work done. But that's exactly what can happen with theirs. Keyboards with decidedly unfriendly arrangements, like delete buttons right next to the cursor controls.
Ah! Oh!
And mysterious unmarked function keys.
F2.
The Compaq keyboard, on the other hand, is made for human beings, with a logical, uncrowded layout that minimizes accidents. Thoughtful arrangements, like an isolated inverted T cursor control and clearly marked hotkeys for commonly used functions, from reverse video to security features to power management features, so users always know exactly what they're doing.
Finished.
They're ready for you.
I'm ready for them.
But okay, you say, the keyboard doesn't make the computer. Well, right you are. That's why Compaq engineers brought the same kind of thinking to the really big things, like power management, a rather critical issue when you consider that notebooks spend much of their lives away from a power source.
Your taxi's here.
Tell him I'll be right there.
For example, how do you know how much battery power you have left? Well, the AST doesn't have a battery gauge at all. The Toshiba, the Dell, and the IBM have battery gauges, but they're rather difficult to decipher. And when you plug a new battery into one of them, you actually have to tell them how much power you're starting with. And of course, if they don't know, how on earth are you supposed to know?
How would I know?
Would you like some coffee?
And it gets worse. For example, what about those situations where you're working along happily when suddenly you're interrupted?
Here's your drink, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Can I get something for
No problem here, as long as you remember that your PC is on. But just suppose that for whatever reason, you happen not to be around to turn it off when the power begins to run low. With the IBM, AST, or Dell, when the power's gone, so is your data. But look at the Compaq LTE Lite. The battery gauge is right there on a handy pop-up screen, easily accessed by way of one of those nifty hotkeys we told you about. An ingenious little chip inside the Compaq Power Smart Pack tells you the battery time remaining in both symbolic and numeric form, without you having to tell it anything. And this cunning spigot icon tells you the rate at which you're using power, so you'll always know exactly how far your power will take you. The Compaq LTE Lite provides up to 4.5 hours of operating time and even fast charges itself in about an hour and a half while you use it on AC power, something none of the others does. And it can fast charge in an hour if your unit's turned off. And, oh yes, about those times when you were temporarily out of the picture? Well, only the Compaq LTE Lite has a feature called hibernation, which automatically saves your data to the fixed disk drive and then turns the unit completely off, so you can't lose your data. And here's the neat part. When you turn your machine back on, it takes you right back to where you were in your application, with your data safe and sound. You can even put it in the hibernation mode on purpose, as sort of a high-tech place marker when you won't be using it for a while. But enough about power. What you really want to see is the display, right?
So what do you think of his buy order? Do you think his positioning will cause a mass sell?
A good display should be equal to any occasion, but have a look at the screens of the other PCs, especially in poor light conditions like these, and you're likely to find dim areas, even streaks, that can make it downright difficult to see much of anything. Look at this IBM screen, for example, compared to the Compaq, with its big, sharp, fully adjustable display. Its max light technology evenly distributes light across the screen while reducing power consumption. And it offers the brightest display of all, something you'll really appreciate when light conditions are less than ideal.
Right.
You can see here.
And don't bother to use one of those other notebooks for a presentation. They can only display one screen at a time. So if you're trying to keep your eyes to the audience, like a good professional, you never know what's going on behind your back.
Here we see some really impressive figures from the Far East Division.
Leaving you open to
They
some
immediately
rather
tell you, we
uncomfortable
look forward to
situations.
steady growth from that sector, especially when the market... I'm sorry. That would be the Tokyo groundbreaking party.
Only the Compaq LTE Lite can simultaneously display on both the overhead screen and the PC screen at the touch of a hotkey, so you can see what's going on the overhead without turning around.
Some of you will remember the groundbreaking ceremony for the Tokyo branch. And I think
We've
it's fair
shown
to
you
say
some of the reasons the LTE Lite is better on the road.
about whether or
But what
not
about
to
when you
stand
get back
for
to the office? That's when you need a desktop expansion base to give you the increased flexibility you need.
See you tomorrow, then.
We'd show you the IBM, Dell, and AST expansion bases, but we can't. You see, they don't offer one. Toshiba has a new expansion base out, but it only has one drive bay. Unlike the Compaq LTE Lite with two drive bays for any combination of fixed disk, tape, or diskette drives, plus two industry-standard slots, and an array of interfaces for external devices. It instantly turns the Compaq LTE Lite into a full-featured desktop PC. And, by the way, those of you who already own a Compaq LTE 386S20 will be gratified to know that it will work with them as well. A turn of the key locks the Compaq LTE Lite to the expansion base to deter unscheduled departures. And with the expansion base locked to the desktop, you have one impressive security system. Of course, you shouldn't have to invest in the expansion base to feel secure. That's why we also built in this convenient receptacle for a Kensington Microsaver security system that lets you lock the Compaq LTE Lite directly to your desk.
Jerry, you're still here. Mm-hmm. Well, let me come tell you how it went.
And your data is just as secure. When you're away from your desk, you can use Drive Lock to prevent access to data in your fixed disk drive, Quick Lock to disable the keyboard, and Quick Blank to blank the screen. Besides the expansion base, other options make the Compaq LTE Lite go even farther. Like, are you ready for this? An enhanced 9600 BPS internal modem with MNP5 along with V.42-bit data compression and V.42 error control. A CD-ROM adapter. An external battery charger that can charge two NiCad or nickel metal hydride power smart packs, or one of each. A custom hard-side briefcase. An automobile adapter. A numeric keypad. And more. You can choose the 20 MHz 386 SL Compaq LTE Lite 20 or the 25 MHz 386 SL Compaq LTE Lite 25 with 16 KB cache for up to 25% faster performance than non-cache 25 MHz 386 notebooks. Either way, you'll get a PC that's, well, designed better. From its remarkably small, lightweight chassis, to its keyboard, to power management, to display, to expansion base, to security features. It's a PC engineered for the real world, with features that help users work smarter, faster, and more confidently. In fact, we believe we've built the smallest and lightest notebook PC you can buy with such an incredible array of features. But then again, we would, wouldn't we? So rather than taking our word for it, why not compare for yourself? Your authorized Compaq computer reseller is waiting to demonstrate the Compaq LTE Lite 25 and the Compaq LTE Lite 20 today. What are you waiting for?